towards achieving these capacity-building initiatives. From the National Assembly, Dennis Adigunle, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, ASUP, has urged the National Assembly to ensure passage of the bill seeking the amendment of the Polytechnic Establishment Act of 1979. This was when the leadership of the unions visited the sponsor of the bill, Senator Ali Wakili, representing Bauchi South Senatorial Districts. National Assembly correspondent Kenneth Nanim reports.
Efforts by academic staff and some lawmakers in the past to get the National Assembly to amend the Polytechnic Establishment Act have not yielded the desired result. This time, the union is hopeful that the bill being sponsored by Senator Ali Wakili, which has passed first reading at the Senate, will address issues of unemployment and the need to strengthen entrepreneurial skills development in the curriculum of the polytechnics.
China, like you all are aware, is using technical and vocational education as bedrock of its development. It is like sine qua non that poverty cannot go unless there is development of technical.
And now to health matters. A case has been made for the removal of the National Health Insurance Scheme funds from the Treasurer Single Account, TSA, so as to achieve prompt service delivery. This was at the National Health Insurance Scheme NHIS management meeting in Kaduna, which had a theme, repositioning the NHIS towards achieving universal health coverage. Chimdima Hundubisi covered that assignment.
The National Health Insurance Scheme began operations in 2005 with the aim of providing access to quality healthcare services for all Nigerians at affordable cost through prepayment systems. But 11 years down the line, the story is different.
That morning when I went there, around after 11, they told me that it's already late. They cannot attend to me. And I was seriously impaired. I was even crying.
Not all drugs that are covered.
To address the anomaly and bearing in mind President Muhammadu Buhari's mandate to the Executive Secretary on making the scheme work for all Nigerians, a strong monitoring team will be formed to ensure health maintenance organizations and caregivers do their bit effectively.
I will put the enrollee in the driver's seat. I need to see in real time how much of enrollee's money goes to whom, why, when, for what. I need to see money returned back by HMOs to the NHIS if they are not used.
The regulator, all they need to do is have their hammer ready, that anybody that is not following the rules will be fined, sanctioned, or get his certificate withdrawn.
The state health insurance scheme has a very, very strong component for the underprivileged. And this is going to be the main focus to ensure that we reach every citizen.
What we need is to ensure that there's full implementation of the policies that are already on ground.
The National Health Insurance Scheme is also to develop an ICT platform where a comprehensive database of the enrollees will be accessible. Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, experts in health sector are calling for more specific and targeted interventions aimed at ending malnutrition and reducing health inequalities in Nigeria. This was at a presentation tagged Malnutrition and Healthcare Delivery Affecting the Lives of Nigerian Children, organized by the Save the Children in Abuja. Aisha Ubali has that report.
Nigeria, research shows that malnutrition remains the underlying cause of morbidity and mortality of large proportion of children under age 5. With this, over 50% of children's death is in this bracket age, and in northern Nigeria, half of all children under 5 years are said to be suffering from acute malnutrition. At this press conference, members of Save the Children say, as part of efforts to tackle malnutrition, the organization is currently implementing what is called Working to Improve Nutrition in Northern Nigeria, a project funded by DFID in collaboration with partners, civil society and government of Nigeria. Building on the gains of the past, this group, Save the Children, is also launching a new 3-year global campaign tagged Every Last Child. The campaign's target is on addressing the challenges of poverty and discrimination that prevent children from accessing qualitative health care, as well as forging partnership to ensure every last child survives and is protected.
I tell you, as we work with government in these areas, we are helping to strengthen the health system.
One of our projects we are looking at talks about the integration community case management of these 3 major killers of under 5, the pneumonia, malaria, and diarrhea.
Here we want to see that pregnant women have access and utilize iron folate.
The members say unless steps are taken to recognize that excluded children exist and provide them with the needed services, it will be impossible to ensure that all children thrive. In Abuja, Aisha Uba Ali, NTA News.
You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Lagos government frowned at increasing cases of domestic violence in the state. Jennifer is standing by in Lagos with details of this and other reports. Happy weekend to you, Jennifer.
Happy weekend to Runke. Welcome to Lagos. The Courier Regulatory Department of the Nigerian Postal Service has sealed off 5 illegal courier companies in Lagos. The Senior Assistant Postmaster General and Head of Courier Regulatory Department, Dr. Simon Emeje, disclosed this during a media briefing in Lagos. Rotimi Oluwagbemi has the details.
The Senior Assistant Postmaster General says the continuous clampdown on illegal courier companies is to create an enabling environment for courier business to thrive in Nigeria. Dr. Simon Emeje said the 5 courier companies are operating without registration with NIPOST. Apart from being sealed off, their disparate motorcycles were also impounded.
There are so many eateries around in the town that are delivering either food or one item or the other. By our law, no organization is supposed to deliver anything on a door-to-door basis and on time-sensitive platform without getting license from NIPOST.
Dr. Emeje further said that operational licenses of 12 registered courier companies have been revoked due to non-renewal of their expired license.
The effort here is not to kill any business or kill indigenous businesses or even international businesses. The effort here is to sanitize, make the atmosphere conducive, give a nice conducive environment, then show them the way to do the business by first taking their license. So anyone we assess and we find to be very credible, we subject them to our test and see how we can help to license such one.
NIPOST says there will be zero tolerance for illegal courier operation in Nigeria. In Lagos, Rotimi Oluwagbemi, NTA News.
The Lagos State government has reiterated its commitment to ensuring total eradication of sexual and gender-based violence in the state. Lagos State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Adeniji Kazim, intimated the media on how the state government intends to curb domestic violence. Nosa Usula reports.
Rape and sexual assault against women in Nigeria have become issues in their need of global intervention. Although there has been concerted efforts towards protecting the rights of the girl child, as well as women in their homes and society at large, there is still much to be done to put an end to it. It is to this end that the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, who was represented by the Directorate of Citizens' Rights, Clara Ibirogba, enjoined victims of sexual and gender-based violence to speak out as the state government is ready to fight all such cases and ensure justice is served.
A lot of women will not take on male house helps because they're scared that they will prey on the females. But also you find that the older female house helps prey on the younger male children. So you find you're leaving the female house help to sleep in the same room with the young boys, thinking that, nothing is going to happen. Sometimes they get molested that way.
The Public Relations Officer, Lagos State Police Command, Dolapo Badmos, said in the past few months, the police has attended to multiple cases involving domestic violence, child abuse, defilement, and rape in the state, and will stop at nothing to curb such acts. The state government inaugurated the Domestic and Sexual Violence Response Team in September 2014 as a response to the increase in incidents of rape, defilement, domestic violence, child abuse, neglect, and maltreatment in the state. In Lagos, Nusa Osuda, NTA News.
Those are top stories at this hour from Lagos. Back to Ronke in Abuja for more on Nationwide News. Ronke, over to you.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Nigeria's effort at attaining development could be accelerated if gender equality is embraced, where the potential of the women is properly deployed for national development. This was the opinion of experts on Good Morning Nigeria today as they discussed the latest UN Human Development Index as it affects Nigeria. Lydia Sampson monitored the discussion and filed in this report.
The UNDP Africa Human Development Report 2016 is entitled Advancing Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment in Africa. Nigeria is ranked 152nd out of 188 countries, placing her among countries with low Human Development Index propelled by disparities between the female and male gender. According to the report, Sub-Saharan Africa loses $95 billion annually over gender inequalities. The guests were unanimous that achieving gender equality and women empowerment is imperative to reverse the trend, particularly in Nigeria, where development is a major challenge.
We're not coordinated, so our efforts are in little tiny piecemeals. And then you have all these other CSOs, NGOs doing little things as well. But we don't have a coordinated effort to ensure that we get to where we're going to.
I think we cannot leave it there. We have to raise them to a higher level. If those women at the grassroots who are doing well had the opportunity to have an MBA or education in finance, just imagine what they would do.
That we are beginning to be proactive and hands-on. We're not stuck in being defined by data and by a report, but rather we are saying, right, this is what this is saying. So clearly, the Human Development Report is saying we could do so much more.
While lamenting what they call lack of understanding of gender equality issues, the guest said minimizing discriminatory practices and opening up opportunities for women will fast-track Nigeria's growth.
If we had concerted a concerted response that involves all tiers of governance, involves citizens in various aggregations, involves communities, with clear objectives saying that we expect that in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, this is where we want to be.
You know, if we can have again that central force pulling us together, we can better harness our effort.
They called for legislative framework that will advance gender balance in public and private life. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the old students of Government Girls College, Dala, Kano State, one of the pioneer girls' secondary schools in northern Nigeria, have pledged their commitment to the development of girl child education and women empowerment. The group gave their commitment when they visited the Director General of NTA, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, to intimate him of their programs and activities and solicit for his support. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim reports.
The caretaker committee, led by a member of the board of trustees of the Dala Old Girls Alumni Association, Hajia Yelwaladan Baba Ari, said the aim of the visit is to seek partnership with the largest TV network in Africa, the NTA, ahead of the association's annual general meeting and reunion dinner in Kano. The group also reiterated their commitment to girl child education and women development in the country.
Whichever state you go in Nigeria today, you find an alumnus of Government Girls College, Dala in Kano. Our own is to have a rich and also enlightenment about girl child education, and also the need for all alumni associations to turn back and try to see that they give more to their alma mater.
The Director General of the NTA, Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, represented by the Executive Director of Programs, Eugenia Abu, commended the association for their effort at giving back to their alma mater.
When it comes to matters that have to do with mentoring, girl child education, national development, and building of institutions, especially of the educational sort, NTA is very much in the forefront of making sure that the nation is aware of what other people are doing. I would like to inform you that the Nigerian Television Authority will gladly be part of your activities. We will provide whatever is required to ensure that you have a successful outing.
Established in 1961, the Government Girls College Dala in Kano State has produced successful and eminent women from different parts of the country. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
Sultan Saad Foundation hosts stakeholders meeting on maternal and childbirth. Suleiman is standing by with details of this and more reports from our Kaduna Network Center. Hello, Suleiman, it's over to you.
Thank you very much, Runke, and welcome to Kaduna. The Ahmad Bello University Teaching Hospital Zaria has developed new drug to treat post-delivery complications. To that effect, a training workshop for its usage was organized by the university for health workers from the 19 northern states. Jemima Sheleng reports.
With the theme Fighting Postpartum Hemorrhage to Finish, that our mothers may live, the workshop is geared towards addressing the challenge of postpartum hemorrhage, a condition which seeks to achieve remarkable reduction in maternal mortality burden in Nigeria. The workshop is to train community agents in the appropriate use of the drug for the prevention and treatment of postpartum hemorrhage. Speaking on the topic maternal mortality in Nigeria, the journey so far, Professor Oladipo Shitu of Obstetrics and Gynecology, ABU Teaching Hospital Zaria, said maternal mortality is unacceptably high, as about 800 women die from pregnancy or childbirth-related complications around the world every day. He stressed that young lives can be saved with known interventions and opportunities in Nigeria.
Now that we have this drug, misoprostol, we thought it was a good way of saving women's lives. So, and that study clearly showed it.
Professor Clara Ladi Etembi is of Department of Community Medicine.
The deaths take place at home among women that are delivered by traditional birth attendants and mainly in rural areas. So this drug came in. Our government is the first country in the world to register it for use.
Various speakers are of the opinion that the drug is cheap, safe and easy to use by anyone without special training. Some participants from other states say they have introduced the drug at the community levels and it has helped in the reduction of maternal deaths. In Zaria, Jemima Sheleng, NTA News.
In another development, the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, has advocated improved synergy between traditional rulers and governments at all levels towards addressing challenges of death of pregnant women and children, among other social ills. He stated this during a sensitization meeting with northern traditional rulers on maternal health challenges in Kaduna. The meeting provided a platform for interface between the 21 traditional leaders and representatives of the UMPF and medical practitioners on what should be done to bring down the menace of maternal mortality, child morbidity, and starvation. Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, decried increasing cases of death of women and children, especially those dying from starvation and malnutrition. He called for proactive measures by all to address the problem.
So let's not shy from this responsibility God Almighty placed on our shoulders, because we are the fathers of these people. They know us and nobody else. So it's left for us to continue to do what we can do.
Medical experts at the meeting described the average death of 111,000 women annually with access to medical facility for only 36% of women in Nigeria as a serious threat to reproductive and family health. They stressed the need for increased awareness for people at the grassroots to enable women go for antenatal and postnatal care.
More than 90% of these deaths are preventable. High emphasis, this is preventable. But we need to scientifically document these deaths and their causes, including the root cause. This is easy if it occurs in the health facilities.
Maternal mortality has no respect for anybody. It has respect for only the person that tries to address it.
As the meeting entered closed door, it is expected to discuss grey areas that will address other societal challenges such as rape, street hawking and begging, child trafficking, and others. The General Officer Commanding 1 Division Nigerian Army Kaduna, Major General Adeni Oyebade, has restated the commitment of the Army to defend the territorial integrity of the country against all forms of aggression. He said this at a dinner organized by officers and men under the division in his honor. Garba Muhammad Nata'ala completes this report.
A year after his resumption of office as the General Officer Commanding 1 Division, officers and men felt the commanding officer has done so well to deserve such a recognition. Major General Adeni Oyebade, who appeared appreciative of the gesture, explained that his successes would not have been possible without the support from the officers and soldiers of the division.
So many assignments that Army headquarters has thrown on our shoulders, we have performed very well to the admiration and commendation of our superiors.
Major General Oyebade pointed out hard work, dedication and commitment, as well as team spirit noted with officers and men he is working with are key towards achieving greater heights, restating the commitment of the Nigerian Army towards ending insurgency in the country.
And we have been successful in doing this job because we have a President and Commander-in-Chief who understands the demands, the dangers, the hazards of doing the job that we do to ensure the territorial integrity of Nigeria, to secure the lives and property of our people.
Some of the GOC's friends and colleagues described him as a gallant and outstanding officer who touches lives of people around him, citing some of the outstanding humanitarian services carried out by the division under his watch. In Kaduna, Garba Muhammad Nata'ala, NTA News.
And with that report, it's back to you, Runke, for more on the Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you too, Suleiman. Thank you. Abia State is one of the states in the southeast zone that is seriously devastated by gully erosion. Obuohia Obibere in Ikwano local government area of Abia State is one of such areas that is currently under the threat of this phenomenon, as the community is nearly cut off from the rest of the state. Chinyere Okoli reports.
Obuohia Obibere is the third densely populated community in Ikwano local government area of Abia State, as its people is predominantly farmers. But the surge of gully erosion have continued to hamper their agricultural activities as well as their living standard. The member representing Ikwano Muaha Federal Constituency, Honorable Sam Onuibo, while conducting NTA crew around the erosion site, said there are a large number of erosion sites. He said many buildings are currently on the verge of collapse, while others are under serious threats due to heavy flooding in the area.
The NDDC contractor attempted to do this road, abandoned this road, but against all advice not to channel the water into this area. The contractor channeled the water into this area and now accelerated the destruction of the road almost in its entirety. Let me mention that this erosion menace has claimed some buildings around this community and rendered a lot of people homeless.
Some youths of the community embarked on a self-help project to alleviate the hardship caused by the gully erosion and appeal to the relevant authorities to come to their aid. From Umuahia, Chinyere Okoli, NTA News.
This is Nationwide. We now call for commercials. More reports will be coming your way after the break. Stay with us.
Change does not just happen. You and I and all of us must appreciate that we all have our part to play if we want to bring change about. We must change our lawless habits, our attitude to public office, and public trust. We must change our unruly behavior in schools, hospitals, marketplaces, motor parks, on the roads, in homes and offices. To bring about change, we must change ourselves by being law-abiding citizens.
NSCDC Public Enlightenment Program, The Defender, is back on NTA Network every Monday, 6:30 to 7 p.m. Stay tuned.
Do you know that 2.5 million children in Nigeria are malnourished, and about 500,000 are likely to die yearly if nothing is done? To combat this public health emergency, Her Excellency Aisha Muhammad Buhari initiated Get Involved, a component of a future-assured project to fight malnutrition in children, especially those at the internally displaced people's camp. The launch of the Get Involved project is an opportunity for all Nigerians to lend their support to this noble cause. The pre-launch of Get Involved project is from 29th August to 2nd September 2016. Time 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. Venue International Conference Center, Abuja. Launching holds on Saturday, 3rd of September 2016. Time 10 a.m. Venue International Conference Center, Abuja. For more details, email programs@futureassured.org.ng. Get involved and save the life of a Nigerian child today.
My Cinderella, where goeth thou?
Oh, me goeth there, but thou must wait here.
Obsolete, superannuated, antediluvian, how could you? All these courses are for me. What did I do?
Well, listen, he's not cursing you. He's speaking English.
This week on your award-winning comedy series, Professor John Bull, starring Kanayo Okanayo, Mercy Johnson, Queen Wokoye, Funky Malam, Bimbo Akintola, Oguz Baba, Ime Bishop, Yomi Fash Lanso, MC for God, Stephen Odingwe, Junior Pope.
Atan Wemia, I'll took to his heels.
Special guest appearances by Mama G and Sunny Danger.
You see, it's not like that. I'm trying to I want you to be my Nigerian wife.
Professor John Bull, fasten your seatbelts this Tuesday and Friday, 8:30 to 9 p.m. on NTA Network, International, and Star Times. It's absolutely bombastic.
Over and out. The largest data network, Glow, Grandmasters of Data. to Sharon Ultimate Hotels, Abuja. The ultimate place to be.
If we have lost the opportunity of 15 years, let us no longer lose any opportunity for the future. Our alternative is agriculture immediately and solid minerals.
We should be appreciative of the president who has again diverted attention to this issue of agriculture.
The present administration is determined to go back to planning, identify priorities beforehand. When money comes, it is applied to that purpose. You can see the results.
We are determined to rehabilitate our country, especially for our children and our grandchildren.
For over 25 years, I have been privileged to anchor various programs on television. But the news program that I find most exciting and challenging is The Weekend File. This is largely because of its philosophy of engaging all classes of people, the artisans, politicians, technocrats, captains of industry, and professional analysts on issues that touch all aspects of life and living. In the conversations that follow, you find complexities, different views, ideologies, thought patterns, and individual beliefs. It's quite engaging. We do this Saturdays on NTA network service at 9 p.m. It's Weekend File, but you call it Weekend Companion, and it's all about nation building. Join me, Kirian Umayo, and production crew every Saturday for this weekend treat, and I can tell you that it is unmissable. Make it a day.
Glad to know you're still watching Nationwide on NTA network service. Efforts by concerned Nigerian scientists in the promotion of genetically modified organisms, GMOs, gathers momentum across the country at a conference at the University of Calabar to advance biotechnology as a tool for productivity, economic diversification, and job creation. Scientists insist that GMO process is a regulated practice that guarantees safety and value addition. Science correspondent Kirian Umayo reports.
Papers were delivered on several aspects of biotechnology, including germplasm conservation, crop improvement, bioinformatics in modern research, biotechnology revolution in energy, and environmental application, and forensic biotechnology, described as a sure way of solving rape cases.
We apologize for that report. Stakeholders have advocated for a more rugged approach to tackling the growing menace of illicit drug use, trafficking, and organized crimes in the West African sub-region. They did this at the opening of a 4-day seminar attended by ECOWAS member states, Mauritania's Minister of Justice, technical partners, as well as regional organizations working in the area of weather and culture services. Abdulmalik Adio has the report.
Thief in the night, in an increasingly intercontinental world, drug abuse and trafficking have found their way into developing countries such as Nigeria and the rest of West African sub-region, which have become an attractive destination for transnational organized crimes. Apart from poverty and diseases like HIV, AIDS, and malaria, illicit drug use, organized crime, and trafficking account for many deaths in several West African countries. At this forum, these experts are expected to review and recommend for the approval of the 2016-2020 ECOWAS Regional Action Plan to address the problem.
The major effort has to be done by the member states to clear some services that are involved in drug trafficking.
The criminal will have their way over and above. So this meeting is geared towards, scaling the tempo of activity across the nations, across the two sub-regions, and of course within these nations.
Chairman of the forum, Dr. Fatimata Diasao, while addressing the forum, said it is the responsibility of every member state to close its doors to these problems and encourage them to do so. She said working together is the most effective way to tackle these vices, and that if this is done, the West African sub-region will rid off the vices.
First of all, it can enable us to reinforce the capability of ECOWAS, because at the beginning we do not have enough human resources and enough financial resources. But now we have recruited people who are in charge and very specialized in drug. That will be very helpful for our plan of action.
It is hoped that at the end of this 4-day seminar, recommendations for the initiative to identify emerging challenges and the approval of the 2016-2020 ECOWAS Regional Action Plan to address illicit drug trafficking and related organized crimes and drug abuse in West Africa will be assented to, and this will be the beginning of a lasting solution to the menace in West Africa. In Abuja, Abdulmalik Adio, NTA News.
We now join Ngozi in our Enugu Network Center for more on Nationwide. Hello, Ngozi.
Thank you, Ronke, and welcome to Enugu Network Center. Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi has reassured his commitment to issues relating to maternal and child health, as well as improvement on health care delivery in the state. The governor was speaking when he flagged off the 2016 first round of Maternal, Newborn and Child Health Week in the state. Ijemu Weke reports.
The one-week program seeks to deliver an integrated plan and preventive measures for improving maternal, newborn and child health in the society. Governor Ugwuanyi said the program is a show of commitment towards ensuring free maternal and child services in all public health facilities in the state. The governor maintained that his administration will continue to sustain the program through funds and professionals to drive government plans for adequate health care delivery in the state.
I use this occasion to reaffirm our commitment to remitting counterpart funds for health programs and generally providing a conducive environment for the successful implementation of such programs in Enugu State.
The event had in attendance some health officials and donor agencies. In Enugu, Ijomu Gweke, NTA News.
500 youths in Ebonyi State have benefited from the National Industrial Skills Program designed to make them self-reliant. Manuel Wiz reports that the beneficiaries are from different vocational backgrounds.
Underscoring the importance of training as a way of reducing crime in the society, Governor David Umahi applauded the initiative and promised to ensure its sustainability by giving financial assistance to the trainees. The Acting Director General, Industrial Training Funds, Mr. Dixon Onoha, said about 9,500 youths will be trained in 18 selected states in line with the policy of job creation for unemployed youths. Some of the beneficiaries could not hold back their joy. A total of 7 training centers have been set up for the smooth sale of the program in the state.
A cross-section of people in Enugu has advocated diversification of the state economy and reviving its moribund industries to improve the internally generated revenue. They were reacting to the Silver Jubilee celebration of the state. Chimobi Wharton Naji has a report.
August 27, 1991, Enugu remained the capital of the state, inheriting a lot of pre- and post-colonial structures. Some key players, while appraising the journey so far, said the strategic position of the state provides an opportunity for direct and indirect investments, and therefore called on present and prospective administrations to provide enabling environment to grow the state.
there are many things in this place that any new government can fall back on. And I talked about Osensuka. Osensuka can create billions for us here.
An elder statesman and former Minister of Power, Professor Baf Naji, said though the present government is making efforts in reviving economic activities in the state, more efforts should be made to include public-private partnership strategy in areas of agriculture, solid minerals, and youth empowerment.
We have a staple of industries. Some of them, of course, had been left in dilapidation, which this government is trying to revive and revive in the proper way. Because revival is not by government doing the revival, but by privatization or concession, in whichever way it is done, so that the private sector can have investments.
It is the general consensus of respondents that the present administration in the state improves on the gains of previous administrations and place the state on a high pedestal infrastructurally. In Enugu, Chimobi Walter Naji, NTA News.
Enugu state government has pledged to explore all avenues that will make education more result-oriented. Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi made the pledge when he received the registrar of the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria. Ujemo Kweke has a report.
Ugwuanyi noted that
that is all we can take from Enugu Network Center because of the hitch we had with that report. Please bear with us. Moving on now. The fight against crime and criminality in any society should not be left for the police alone, as every individual has a role to play. FCT Police Commissioner Mohammed Mustafa stressed this at the launch of the FCT Police Command Eminent People's Forum. Ayodeji Abdul Malik reports that the forum was initiated by the Acting Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris.
The forum, which comprises of retired senior police officers, community, religious and opinion leaders, is geared towards involving the public in providing adequate security in the territory. The FCT Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Mustafa, says the forum constituted is one of the measures put in place to encourage community policing as well as build confidence in the reformed police force.
We're closing the gap between the police and the public, members of the public. So I think it's going to be a very robust one. It's going to be a very good one for all of us.
While assuring the police of their support in the fight against crime and criminality in all parts of the FCT, some members of the forum stressed the need for training and retraining of the officers and men of the force so that they can meet the challenges of the day.
In government, whether local government, area council government, state government, FCT government, federal government, you must be concerned about the security and the well-being of their citizens.
It's quite commendable, but all in all, whatever contributions everybody is making here, if actions are not taken, it will still be in vain.
And still talking security, the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ibas, has sued for greater harmony between the Nigerian Navy and its host communities. He stated this through his representative while flagging off the free healthcare service tagged Rhapsody by the Navy at Aladia in Edo Council area of Delta State. The report.
There were held talks by the medical personnel of the Navy Hospital on the management of HIV and antenatal care for the pregnant women and nursing mothers. The commander at Nigerian Navy Hospital was conducted around the makeshift clinics and administered drugs to a child to flag off the free medical exercise.
We want to make sure that all the people that are with us will go one by one after each community to make sure that they feel our presence. Because we are here for everybody. It's not only for one community. That's why we now decided that, okay, this month, let's come to Alaja.
The president of Alaja community, Mr. Elias Dogene, and some of the beneficiaries expressed gratitude to the Nigerian Navy for its kind gesture.
I feel so happy with this because it gave me the opportunity to know exactly what I'm really passing through, especially with Alice. We also give some other persons a good opportunity, likewise, especially when it comes to finance.
Now we receive free things. I have eye problem all over my body.
You see, but now I receive many things free, tablet, injection, everything free.
Over 300 people benefited from the free healthcare exercise in the area. From Alaja, in Enugu local government area of Delta State, Steve Lona in Waokolo, NTA News.
We now go straight to the mosque, where Muslim faithful have been admonished against casting aspersions of those entrusted with leadership responsibilities in the society. This was the message of Imam Abdullahi Ahmed of the FCDA Mosque Area 11 during the sermon for the Jumat prayers in Abuja.
The Imam enjoined worshippers to rededicate themselves in prayers for Allah to turn the fortunes of Nigeria around. He said Almighty Allah is capable of interventions beyond human expectation.
A verse said in the Quran that Inna Allah la yughayyiru ma biqawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. Allah will never change the situation of people until they change it themselves. If they are doing good, they turn to bad, and something affected them, or it's that badness affected their economy or whatever, they should come back to Allah and amend themselves so that Allah will amend also or adjust. We should not be abusing the government or saying unnecessary things. What we should be doing is to pray for them or to advise where necessary.
He added that Islam is a religion that encourages hard work, obedience to the rule of law, and warned Muslim faithful to avoid sin, which can prevent them from receiving Allah's mercy. In Abuja, Abdullahi Suleiman Iyaji, NTA News.
And now to news from the global scene. More than 1,000 people arrested in Libreville, Gabonese capital, as violent protest enters day 2. Plus, Uzbekistan's president dies in Turkey. This and more on Global Tidbits with Gabriel Odu.
The protest sparked off after the electoral body announced incumbent President Ali Bongo as winner of the presidential polls. Opposition candidate Jinping has called for ballot recount, citing irregularities. Meanwhile, the UN Secretary General has called for calm. On health matters now, a study by scientists writing in the Lancet Infectious Diseases have said that about 2 billion people could be at risk of contacting Zika virus outbreaks in Africa and Asia. The scientists added that the infection spread by mosquito bites reached Africa recently from Brazil. And reports from Turkey indicate that Uzbekistan's President Islam Karimov has died of brain hemorrhage in Turkish hospital at age 78. That's Global Tidbits. Gabriel Udu, NTA News.
And now talking sport. Super Eagles technical advisor has assured Nigerians of his resolve to ensure that the team qualifies for the 2018 World Cup in Russia. The coach disclosed this at a press conference in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, where the team is camping ahead of their match with Tanzania's Taifa Stars on Saturday. John Paul Alumni has the report.